Special Agent Will Trent, Judge of Bureau Investigation.
ABC's hit series Will Trent is back.
He read that crime scene like it was a book.
Tonight at its new time at 8/7 Central.
I bet I can solve this tonight.
Critics are calling it an entertaining, powerful, heart-racing drama.
There's a bomb in this building.
Clear this entire block.
Will Trent has joined the list of greatest TV detectives.
He's good police, and he's objectively hot.
Will Trent. Season premiere tonight, 8/7 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Hey y'all, I'm April.
And I'm Caroline.
And this
is your Bloody Happy Hour.
Caroline, are you ready for this?
This is your newest guilty pleasure.
It's the bloodiest part of your week.
Did we say something about it also being happy hour?
Show did.
Because we about to be sipping on some murder. Bloody Happy Hour.
Hey y'all, this is April.
And this is Caroline.
Bloody Happy Hour. Tuesday. Hello. Quickie
Hello.
day.
Hello.
And,
Hello.
You know, there's been a lot going on, and if your team didn't win the Super Bowl, you might need some better help.
Oh, you for sure need some better help. And you know what? I think that it is entirely online. It's designed to be convenient, flexible, suited to your schedule. You fill out a questionnaire, you get matched with your therapist, the licensed therapist to be exact, and then you can switch if you don't like your therapist. Like if it's Miss Trunchbull, you don't like her, you can switch. But maybe she's really nice and you like her and you stay with her.
Does your friend
great.
like her?
Yes.
Yay.
Yay.
Yay for Miss Trunchbull.
So all you have to do is go to BetterHelp.com. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/bloody, and you get 10% off of your first month.
Go do it.
Go do it right now, guys. There's really nothing to lose.
49er fans, this is for you.
This is for you.
Okay. And let's get started with some news. I got 3 updates before we get started with some new stuff.
Okay, let's do it.
I know we're always a week behind, but since the last time we talked to you, if you listened to the last quickie.
Since we screamed at you, you mean?
If your eardrum is busted a little bit.
They could have. They probably did.
But,
and sometimes
the verdict was in.
We can't control the excitement. It just kind of overcomes and then it just spews out. And I shriek a lot as well. So I just, I'm not mad about it.
It was Caroline's birthday present, actually.
It
was. Happy birthday to Caroline. And we are drinking some whiskey for her birthday and toasting to a fair, just system in this case.
Finally.
Yeah.
We've got some justice.
So the Tammy Blankenship Harlan sentencing trial was complete, and then the verdict was guilty on both counts. And then that next day they were doing the sentencing phase. Caroline actually went up there that morning and got some good testimony.
I did. It was wild.
I only got to see
heartbreaking
through the tweets. And I know I was sitting at my desk bawling because the Grottenberg family, one by one, got to get up there and just tell their story and their feelings and how it was the day they got the news.
And here's the thing. It's like, I know we get this excitement. It's just because you get a rush and you want justice. Mm-hmm. So I'm not like celebrating that.
Yeah.
But it is what happened and it needs that we were just we're happy it had to happen. Like,
it's sad because I did feel bad for like the Harlan kids because they're losing their moms, but it's very temporary, and it feels like a very just, fair. When it was all over with, I was pleased. But during the sentencing phase, you got to hear the Grottenberg family, the mom, the dad, the sisters, the brothers.
One of the sisters said it was her birthday. The dad said there were 3 things that were said that day that he'll never, or 3 things that he'll never forget. Mm-hmm. What were the first 2? All I remembered was the third one, which was that she said, "Oh, I thought it was a homeless person."
The mom screaming when they got the phone call.
When they got the phone call.
So the phone call, the mom screaming when they got the phone call, And then Tammy shrugged, like when she watched the video, and Tammy shrugging off that it was just a homeless person. I thought it was a homeless person. And he said because David volunteered in homeless shelters during his time. Anyways, David seemed like an angel. So, he was a very Christian family.
It did remind me a lot of the being there with the Caitlin Armstrong trial, because it's like, it makes it so surreal. And I had a friend who's with me and she's like, she started crying, and because it kind of reminded that family, the Grottenberg family, it reminded her of her family because she comes from a family of like a bunch of kids and some of them were homeschooled, and so it was just like kind of she could relate. And I know.
The sister talking about her brother is what got me.
Mm-hmm.
But Tammy had some good witnesses on her case. I can't remember the lawyer's name, but she's famous, badass lawyer, prosecutor.
Mm-hmm.
She's got her own show on the Oxygen Network. I would have went to meet her in person, but she's the one that prosecuted David Temple's case. I think the second trial around, the third trial. She's got a show.
Yeah, but my coworker was not happy with whatever she said.
Well, she was just saying that she was speaking of Tammy in the past tense. Tammy in the David Temple stage. So the way I knew Tammy...
bring it back and tell them what you're talking about.
The way I knew Tammy Harlan was not newer, but the first time I heard that name is when she was basically best friend, hero Tammy. She was best friend of Belinda Temple, who was wife of David Temple, and David Temple shot and killed Belinda while she was 9 months pregnant. She was dead, and her baby was
And this
dead.
came up because they're trying to kind of get her like, oh, this is why you should give her less of a sentence because she's gone through this and she's gone through this. Like, so it's like her side is trying to get
the character's phase too.
Yeah.
And the sympathy phase, I guess.
Right. Yeah. So you come and you give your side, you're pleading to the jury for the lesser sentence.
Yes.
So that's why all of this came up. And then we're freaking out because we're like, oh my God, that we covered this case. And like it's just all the connections are wild, and you're just like.
And you knew it was going to come up. I just didn't know when it was going to come up.
Yeah.
So I guess they kept it in their back pocket for when they needed it. And so they needed her. And she came in and she was like, Tammy's a great person. She is the person that helped us prosecute this murderer. She had to testify against him multiple times. And basically he threatened her life, allegedly, multiple times. And that she was fearful of her life, allegedly.
Oh, and
this hung over her head for 25 years.
And she was abused as a child.
She was abused.
Who wasn't abused?
Her dad committed suicide, and then her husband that she's obviously still married. What's the purpose of changing your last name? To not have association?
Why are you still married?
They've been married this whole time.
She's still married to Quentin.
Yeah.
Okay. What? Well, where's he?
They've been together in Bastrop this whole time. He testified for her on her behalf at the trial.
Oh, he came?
Yes.
Oh, shit, I missed that whole part.
You're already at Tina Turner.
I was already at Tina. I'm sorry. Yeah, I got to go back. I do need to go close that.
They've been together for like the past, he said 33 or 37 years. They got all these kids together. He said that he's cheated on her twice. And she did cheat on him when she was at Midway. And like all their...
But so here's the thing. After she went through the trial, David Temple trial, and she was abused and all this stuff, she still managed to be able to get a good job, make good money.
Great job, yeah. They said she was great at her job.
Yeah. So she was able to live as a normal human being and live her life and do all the things, and she wasn't affected by those things. But when she hit a kid on alcohol. A bicycle... No, all of a sudden she's affected by those things.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, you have to bring, that's their job. They got to bring all that stuff up and sympathy and all that stuff. And
they said that she probably overly turned to alcohol to deal with all those things she never really dealt with. But in the end, the jury deliberated for a couple hours. I don't remember how long, maybe 3 hours. And they came back and they gave her 10 years for each count to be served concurrently at the same time. She has to do a minimum of 5 years before she can try to get out for parole.
So is she going straight to Gatesville, or where's she at now?
Yeah, she's going to be there with Yolanda Saldivar.
Oh, is she? Is she going to be there with Caitlin Armstrong too?
Oh, Lord, they're just going to have a little club.
You know about Yolanda, right?
We need to cover that. I keep seeing her everywhere.
Are we covering that on Thursday?
Selena?
Mm-hmm.
Are we covering it?
I think we are.
Yay! Okay, good.
Mainly because she's having the damn docuseries that's about to come out.
Yes.
And I'm dead with it.
Yes. Okay.
I'm gonna get a Yolanda pinata.
Yolanda, she's
this bitch
hated. She's hated.
She's real ugly and she is a horrible person. I mean, you kill Selena? No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
No.
And your eyebrows are too far apart.
So there's Tammy Harlan. It was all wrapped up and in a nice little bow. And it was sad. But the mom said, she says, she needed to do jail time, and not just because she did what she did, but because she made them go through turmoil for 8 years. Not knowing, or knowing but not knowing if they're going to get justice.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably what did it for me.
Yeah.
If she had woke up that next day or a week later, even 2 weeks later, and said, I'm sorry, handcuff me, I did it, I deserve punishment.
I have a relative who did the same thing. She came back from a reunion, and she hit somebody on the side of the road, killed them, drove home, just because she'd been drinking, and I don't even think she knew she hit him.
Mm-hmm.
But completely was like, I could have, and I guess I did, and I'm guilty. Take me and let's do it.
Yes, that's what you do.
I know. Just it sucks. I mean, I don't ever want to, but yeah, just so she could have already been served her sentence.
She'd been done.
And
It'd been over with.
Yeah, and she could be back in Bastrop. I mean, now she's gonna be getting pegged in the prison.
Yeah.
I don't know how you get pegged
on her for a third time, because Quentin can't keep it in his pants when she's out of jail. He sure ain't gonna keep it in his pants when
Quentin's
she's in
gonna be hopping around, coming to Waco. No, he ain't coming to Waco.
And now a word from our sponsors. What are we doing here, Rusty? What are we going to do?
Yep, we're doing the King of the Hill Rewatch Podcast.
King of the Hill Rewatch Podcast. Yeah, so we're going to go through one episode at a time. Come along for the ride with us.
Come check it out.
And give me a good Dale Gribble quote to go out on. Wingo.
Yeah, Wingo.
Wingo. All right. Well, join us for the King of the Hill Rewatch Podcast.
Deep in the heart of Texas, that drinks his brew and he spits his chew. Deep in the heart of Texas, the TV blares but no one cares. Deep in the heart of Texas, here we go.
Hi, this is Sarah.
And I'm Carter.
And this is Some of Our Thoughts.
We're two Southern sommeliers, and we want to share everything we love and know about wine. We started hanging out during quarantine and cooking and drinking and listening to music, and we just thought this would be a great way to bring everything we know to you guys.
We will make wine knowledge and food pairings easy and approachable. So put on your favorite vinyl, grab your favorite glass of wine, tune into our show, and let's have some fun.
Wine and vinyl. So check us out on roguemedianetwork.com or wherever you get your favorite podcast. We'll be talking about a lot.
Finally happening.
Yes.
Special shout out to Rogue Media for helping us with this.
For sure, for sure. You can find us on Instagram at bythecover_podcast.
You can also find us on Facebook and TikTok, so don't forget to give us a follow on those too also.
We are so excited to dive into some of our favorite books and share those with you.
We can't wait. Hope you love it.
All right, so let's go to the Kansas City 3. Since we've talked about them last, that preliminary toxicology report did come back.
How much is going on in Kansas City right now? Good grief. Not a good place to be.
The 3 guys that were found dead in Jordan's backyard were positive for marijuana, cocaine, and fentanyl. And they have interviewed, I was just looking at some interviews like with people that knew all of them. And Jordan, which was the scientist guy that rented the house, was known to be the cook.
Chemist.
The chemist. What's the guy's name off Breaking Bad?
Oh,
Walter
White.
Walter White.
Yeah.
Basically the Walter White. So he would make all the drugs and all their party favors for the people around him. So leads you to wonder that if they say that's what caused them to die, and they tie it back to Jordan, aka Walter White, could that lead to some charges? Because right now there's still no damn charges.
I think it can. I don't think he knew. Okay, this is just my prediction, speculation, like play the chimes, like whatever. I think he got his drugs. He was going to do whatever he does with them. Apparently, he does it all the time. He's the chemist. But I don't think he knew about the fentanyl. And I think that...
He's a fucking chemist!
I know, but he could have gotten a bad batch of something. I just don't know why you would put... I just don't see people just
You just
taking...
did a story about people
I know,
that
and then I went back and I read it again, and they were like, they said that fentanyl was not in it, and I was going to correct my correction corner. I don't know. I need to go. I need to talk to if you're a drug dealer, I need to know. Do you know that you have fentanyl in your drug? Like,
Jelly Roll was a dealer, and he said people did want fentanyl. He didn't just secretly put it in their shit.
They wanted.
Yeah.
Who was on the testified on the Congress? Jelly Roll. I saw the Jelly.
Yeah.
So people be knowing they putting it in there that they want it.
Yeah, but they just don't want to die.
I don't see how it doesn't kill you. It seems like anybody who even like touches
just now
it
started killing people.
Well, it didn't kill people years ago. Okay. I'm so confused with fentanyl.
Not as often, I guess.
Okay, so I guess cancel my speculation. So it must have been in there.
I'm sure he's going to play the fool and act like, what? Fentanyl? Never. But you can't be it's like saying, hey, I made this cake from scratch. I didn't know there's sugar in there. No.
I didn't put it in there.
I didn't put the sugar in there.
It was
this flour must have accidentally been sugar.
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
No, you know the difference between flour and sugar.
I sure do. Because I used to eat all the cream of wheat, and I'm not putting flour in my cream of wheat. I'm putting straight sugar in my cream of wheat. Facts.
Cream of wheat. Okay, so another update is Mason Herring. Thinking. I see the little dots above Caroline's head. Okay, he was the redhead lawyer out of Houston that I talked about probably a year ago that was arrested for drugging his wife. His wife figured he was probably drugging him because she kept getting sick. So she put the camera up in the kitchen, caught him, found the drugs, and he was giving her the abortion pill.
Wait, was this from a Dateline episode or 2020 or 48 Hours or something?
I don't know.
No. Okay.
It was a year ago. I talked about it a long time ago, but he just went to trial.
Yeah, I've seen a case just like that. Different case. But
okay.
Yeah. Video camera caught. Oh, it was the wife. It was opposite. Okay, continue.
The wife did it? Well, but this is the abortion pill.
Yeah.
So his wife was pregnant.
Uh-huh.
And he was having an affair. And so he didn't want the wife to be pregnant, even though they already had like 45 kids. So what's one more kid going to do?
Nothing.
So he was sneaking his wife abortion pills, like in her
smoothie or something. Oh, hey, baby, let me make you a protein smoothie.
Protein shake,
Let me make you a protein smoothie. You just had a hard workout. Let me give you some abortion. Let me give you some Plan B.
So they had his sentencing February 8th. He pled guilty. So if you plead guilty, do you not have a trial? Or will you still have a trial?
You have a sentencing.
Okay. So they just had his sentencing. He pled guilty to felony assault to inducing an abortion.
Ugh. So is this double murder? Wait. Did she die?
Nobody died.
Oh, so
not
it's
even
assault.
the baby. Oh! And they had all the evidence. He tried to do it 7 times. Each time she would just get sick, she wouldn't miscarry. She'd get sick, she wouldn't miscarry. Okay? He was only sentenced to 180 days in jail. That baby was a little girl.
Year.
6 months.
It's good math.
That baby was born 10 weeks premature and has all the disabilities. She has to undergo like 8 different therapies a week. Physical, like a lot of physical disabilities. And it'll be lifelong. It's not something that she can do therapy for a couple years and be fine. And so Geraldo was talking about it. You know, Geraldo's going to say whatever he wants, but they're like, this is, of all states.
Where was it? Oh, here.
Texas in Houston.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you
yeah.
know how Texas feels about abortion.
Yeah.
Well,
I do. We just discussed it.
Yeah. How Texas feels about abortion. Why would they not try to go further with attempted?
I don't know.
Attempted murder.
Okay. I know
Because
I'm
he
just
didn't
kind
die.
of
I mean, she didn't die.
I'm
so
just
it's not
kind
murder.
of a pre-lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure there's so much like stuff you have to sift through to get to whatever you're going to charge, and all this back and forth that we don't know about because law this and law that. I don't know.
They were saying that because he's a lawyer and because
He
it was
probably
basically
knew.
his friends that were helping him get out of this. But Texas, there's another case in Texas where a guy just hit a woman in her stomach and he got attempted murder, and he's doing time. But this guy truck.
Well, I
7
wonder,
not 1.5.
I wonder though
7
if it's
times.
because if
And he pleaded
he's a
guilty.
lawyer and he knows kind of how to work the system.
Mhm.
That has to be it. Like you just have to know what to say or what to do or how to do it. And if you
he's
don't
disbarred.
know,
and he's
then-
redhead, so he's basically royalty. So maybe they're like, he's a redhead.
I saw
Let's
a
go easy on
beautiful
him.
redhead the other day and I thought of you, but that's besides the point. I don't even know her name. Good story.
Hold one finger up about a redhead. I think I got one I want to fix you up with.
Oh,
It's a boy.
Okay. I like boys.
So there's that update. Let's go to the post Super Bowl parade shooting that is unfolding right now as we speak. What sucks about this is you hear this a week later, so things will probably change in between now and by the time you hear this. But as of right now, which is Thursday, what is today? The 15th? Day after
Yes.
Valentine's.
That is
So
when we're
on
recording.
Wednesday, on Valentine's, there was a parade because, Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl. So the hometown has to, of course, throw them a big-ass celebration and parade. Well, at this parade, shots were fired.
Shots fired.
22 people were injured in the shooting. Ages ranged from 8 years old to 47 years old, and half of them were under the age of 16. 11 total of them were children, and 9 of those children were shot, had actual gunshot wounds, had to be in the hospital. All of them, though, will fully recover. Now, there are a couple people still in critical condition, but a lot of them that weren't shot, that just had other injuries, have been treated and have been released. But there was one death, and that is a mother of 2, Lisa Lopez Galvan. She was killed at the parade, at the shooting. She was a DJ for a local radio station there in Kansas City. You know, the people don't listen to the radio as much anymore, or at least I know that I don't.
Right.
But you're a radio person. I know, like growing up in the mornings, you had your morning team,
Yeah.
you had your after school team, and you knew their voice.
Yep.
I remember being somewhere and hearing
Casey
remember
Kasem.
Darren, Casey Kasem, you'll still know their voice. Darren and Chrissy, they were on 97.5
yeah.
here. All I had to do is hear a voice in the background. I'd go,
Uh-huh.
oh, that's Chrissy.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Can
us.
you imagine? Oh, yeah. People do recognize our voices sometimes. But can you imagine, like, that's people hear her voice every day, listen to the radio station, and they're going to turn on to that radio station and not hear it anymore. Like, just randomly. No, like, going away. She's not going to another radio station.
Nope.
She was killed at her team's parade. And she was probably there with her boys. Now, 3 people, were in custody. They have released no names because 2 of them were underage. You know, they'll protect the name of minors. But literally, as I was writing this, as of this afternoon, the adult that they had in custody was not formally charged and released because they deemed him not related to, like, he didn't have anything to do with the shooting. Now, they did announce that whoever did these shootings were not like extremists or terrorists, and they did not, it wasn't like this some type of agenda behind this. They were having their own little argument that ended in a gunfire at a freaking parade with millions of people, at 1 million people. It's stupid. And they have not formally mentioned how the people arguing might have known each other or what the argument might have been about. I bet it's about a woman.
And how they're going to end up shooting all these other people. If you're arguing right there, you just shoot the one guy and then be gone. Did he run away?
They said that he grabbed the gun and just like pointed in the air, just like sprayed it.
I need you to put his face, I don't care if he's a minor, put his face out there.
Yeah, at some point, when do we not respect
and put
that?
his name out there and just be like, this is who did it, and
tell us
everybody
what
needs to
happened.
hate him and send him death threats.
Gosh. So we still, as of right now, Thursday, we still don't know what happened.
My question is, will the parents be held responsible if it's a minor? Because we go back to Crumley.
Yeah. I think there's got to be a lot of investigation to see.
I know.
About that. But I have to shout out Badass Billy Gunn, Daddy Contreras, which is the dad that was there with his daughter that was just watching the parade and was leaving. That he did an interview and he said that everybody was running one way, but there was this one guy running the opposite of everybody. And I guess he looked, maybe he recognized him as the shooter or he looked suspicious. I don't know. But Badass Billy Gunn tackled his ass and he pancaked him. He was on top of him, pancaked him and stayed on top of him. Think somebody else joined in until the police got there. I don't know if that was the adult or if that was one of the kids. So I don't know if that's the guy that they released.
It was the guy. Well, they showed the guy. They showed him. It was he had like a khaki tan colored jacket on. With the hood over.
But is he released?
I don't know if he was released. I just know that.
So he was an adult.
He looked.
Oh, okay.
So these days, I mean, it was that guy that it seemed he looked like an adult. He looked adultish.
Yeah. So there's 911 calls out there that you can listen to. So they described black males as like shootings, like doing the shootings, and a Hispanic female like involved in like argument. I don't know what color was that guy?
Black guy.
A black guy. Yeah. So, but then that's the guy that they allegedly. That might be the guy that they
I did see that this one girl who she went home and she found a bullet lodged in her backpack in a blanket.
Damn.
And she had it, and they had a picture of her. She had put the bullet in a baggie and was holding it up, and she's like, "I found this in my backpack. It was in my blanket."
And they need all that because if they find a gun, they got to be able to tie it to.
I know. Can you imagine? Like, you're like, "Oh my God, I just almost could have died," or like at least.
Ooh, yeah.
That's like a brush.
If you'd have just took a step backwards.
I know.
Yeah. Wow. Kansas City O lineman Trey Smith was mentioned in one of the articles, and then Legarius Sneed. They actually found like a little closet basement area where they helped guided people, and
Somebody gave them a belt. What did you
and
see
they
that?
helped calm down scared kids and just tried to make them.
I saw that
happy.
somebody gave them like a WWE, some kind of big belt, like some to calm a kid down. But it was the same kind of like story like that.
Yeah.
Was
Anyways,
it like
developing.
at the end of the like when was? Do we know?
So the guy who tackled the guy, he said that, which the parade ends at different times for everybody,
right? Based
so
on, yeah.
Where they were walking off because it was over.
Yeah.
For them, and people were leaving, and they had known of the shooting by then, so police were telling people to go, and the guy was walking. The guy that they tackled was walking the opposite way.
I'm gonna need y'all to not bring your guns to the parades, and I'm gonna need y'all to not drive your cars through the parades.
And fight. If you're pissed at people, fight. You pussies.
Yeah, just use your fist like normal people.
And it's these teens, they have issues. I think
I'm
they
gonna
just
need the
play
parents
video
to parent.
games.
I'm gonna need the parents to parent.
They've played
That's
video
why I ain't
games
gonna be
too long.
You know what? This is why nobody's wanting to be parents. This is why half my friends, nobody got kids. Oh, hell.
All right, and then there was another shooting Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, and that was at Joel Osteen's Megachurch.
Oh my gosh, yes. That was the tranny.
Yeah, well,
or whatever I don't know. It was
I saw that they reported that, but I looked at something that was just came an hour ago because I wanted to find the most updated one.
Oh, yeah.
So, I just don't know how to say her name. Genesee Moreno entered Lakewood Church, which was Joel Osteen's megachurch, with her 7-year-old son. She had on a trench coat and a backpack and her rifle, and she immediately started shooting at people in the hallway. 2 people were shot, including her son, who was shot in the head, and he's currently in critical condition.
So she shot her kid?
Well, I think the police, because their security there shot back and shot the kid. Like just
did
he
she
just
put
got
the
caught.
kid?
Yeah.
She used her kid as a shield.
Yeah, I think he just got caught. In
Gosh, this is why I hate people.
So she was shot quickly. It didn't last very long. She didn't even make it into the actual sanctuary. She made eye contact with the actual security guards and pointed her gun and shot and shot at
if you were what was the point of it? Because if you were actually wanting to do something, you would go in. That is a huge. It's full.
Yeah.
So I unless somebody was about to stop her. Yeah, I think maybe somebody must have had to have knew she was. I don't know. Maybe saw something, and so that's why whoever this person is did this. Because I don't know.
She didn't get very far. She also said that she had a bomb on her before she started shooting. But when they found her, they searched her. There were no explosives. There's no hazardous materials on her. But she did have a second gun. So she did go in with a plan to do a lot more than what she did. She just didn't execute her plan very
because
well.
She has a mental illness.
She was described as a lone wolf. So she was not associated with...
Please not say wolf.
A large group, or she was not working for any other group or activist group or something.
Yeah.
It said that it was alleged that she sometimes used male and female aliases when referring to herself, but then police later corrected and said she identified as a female.
Okay.
They found anti-Semitic writings when they went to her house. She lived in Conroe. In her at her house, anti-Semitic writings, but they didn't specify what it was. But her in-laws
she
were
had
Jewish.
something on the gun, like pro-Palestine. Okay.
Yeah. Her in-laws were Jewish, so her ex-husband was Jewish. Her son was half Jewish. She was in a fight with her in-laws. So she's mad at her in-laws, which her in-laws knew she was going through some was crazy. Also on the butt of her gun, it had a Palestine like bumper
a flag
sticker on
or
there.
something, yeah.
Yeah. On the butt of the gun. And she did have documented mental illness and some past misdemeanor convictions, but like small, like $100 theft type stuff. Like I said, she was fighting with her in-laws, and they tried to report her repeatedly as a threat to society because she would threaten people with guns. She threatened her ex-husband. She threatened to shoot her ex-husband while her son was in the car. And she just walked. She was like Granny with the gun. Like she walked around with her gun all the time. They said she kept her gun and her son's...
This big-ass shotgun she walked around
She
with?
kept another
Or the
gun in
second
her
gun?
son's diaper bag all the time, and it was always loaded and unlocked because she felt like she was going to need to use it. She had been 5150'd or Baker acted
my gosh.
in the past, but they have not released why. But the in-laws tried to report her as a threat.
Yeah, and they
with
they're
guns,
like,
and they didn't do anything. But like,
see,
what can
y'all,
you
it's
do?
not guns. It's people with mental illness.
But what can you do? If I call the police and say, man, I think my neighbor is active shooter,
or like
he's gonna go in there and be active shooter
I know
type.
I have my in-law or my whatever in-law has guns, is threatening to shoot people. But what do you do?
What can the police do
I
off
don't
of that?
exactly.
It's hearsay, and then where does that stop? Because anybody can just call and say some bullshit.
Yeah.
On you, and then you can't go and arrest that person. Is there a watch list? I need to look into that situation.
Yeah, I gotta find that guy's name.
But we don't know why she was 5150'd, but there is a lot of documented mental health. So they were like, well, how could she get guns? And sometimes everything doesn't come up when you go through, like they scan or whatever they do when you get guns or when you purchase guns. But that's the biggest question right now, because they did say that, I guess, I don't know all the laws and how it goes in Texas, but they said that we have in Texas the skimpiest gun laws, I guess. It's easier for people to get guns here versus maybe somewhere else. And I don't know where somewhere else would be. So she kind of fell through some of those loopholes when she got her gun, because she did not need a gun. That's all I got, y'all.
Love it.
And I guess we're going to Corpus Christi Thursday.
We are.
Bitty bitty bum bum. Bitty 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 bum bum. A bitty 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 bum bum. All right, we'll see y'all Thursday for a full episode. Don't forget to
stay aware,
stay alive,
and always be DTF.
Bye bye bye.
Goodbye.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.